All right. So this Zoom meeting is going to be about momentum and creating momentum in your team. And you guys know I was in Dallas a few weekends ago, I guess 2 weekends ago now, and went to see Leslie Zann. And I'm going to kind of share what she shared with me. I got her book today. I bought her CDs at the event. And oh my God, you guys have to listen to her CDs. They're so incredibly powerful. I've been listening to them in my car when I take my kids to school, and any chance I can get to listen to her, she blows my mind. She's probably the most incredible woman speaker I've ever listened to in my entire life. And I've heard a lot of great speakers, but she, for some reason, I'm like a magnet to her. She is just so spot on and so real and so genuine, and her personality is so sweet and bold. She's funny, and I just connected with her immediately. So I'm a huge fan of Leslie Zann. If you're not following her on Facebook, I definitely recommend it. She wrote a book. It says, I have to, but I can't. This book right here. I don't know if you can order it on Amazon. I think you can only order it on her website, but I'm going to get you guys that information, and I'm going to post it in our group page. It's very short and easy. As you see, it's a small book. And basically, she has a rebuttal for anything you can think of. Like the top 10 things that you're struggling with, she addresses in this book. And she gives you the answer, pretty much. So it's an amazing book. And the CD series, I'm so excited about. And I want to do a Zoom meeting specifically on that CD, but I want you guys to be able to hear it. So I want you guys to be able to either buy it, or I have two. So I will mail it to you. We can share it. We can share the two that I have, and we can pass it around until everybody listens to it. And then I would love to do like a discussion group based on the CD, because it will change your life. Leaders Retreat, Amelia Island, when I very first started with Plexus, I sat under Eric Worre, and that was like the first MLM speaker I've ever really heard. And he blew my mind. Like the information that he shared with us that day, those 3 days, I took a notebook full of notes. And when something hits me, like I'm the type of person that, I take in a lot of stuff, and I listen to a lot of things, and I read a lot of things, but it's rare for me to like super, super connect and really, it takes a lot to blow my mind, put it that way. And when I sat under Eric Worre, and he talked about his book GoPro, I came home from that trip. One of the phones is not muted. Can you guys mute your cell phones for me? Y'all that are on cell phones, I can hear a lot of feedback. Can you mute yourself, please? Okay. So Eric Worre was super powerful with his GoPro, and I came back and signed like 30 or 35 people based on the knowledge that he gave me at that retreat. She's the same way. She has touched me in the same light. So since I've been back, I have just been in super momentum mode. I have gotten a lot of my level ones that were not working in the business at all. They're now working the business. They're excited. They're running with me. And I am really excited about that, because a few of my level ones that I really wanted to work this business, and I signed them, and they didn't do anything. And I was so frustrated. I didn't understand, like, why are these people not working like this? I thought they would be so good at this. And since I got back from Dallas, I have had just a whole new mindset. Just my vision is clear. And I've been putting in practice the principles that she taught me. So it's been such a huge gift for me. And her lecture and her speaking was so powerful for me. I just want to share a little bit tonight about what she talked about, because she talked about so much. I could talk for hours and hours, and it was just so amazing. I mean, we started at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and we didn't stop till like 4 in the afternoon. We didn't take break at all. We didn't eat lunch, and nobody wanted to move. I mean, like no one wanted to get up and use the bathroom. It was that freaking amazing. So she's just phenomenal, and I'm so excited about her. She talks a lot about, it's so funny. Like I felt like she was talking to me specifically when she was there. And the day before the actual event, I got to sit down one-on-one with her, because Allison Bro she's Allison Bro's life coach. So Allison was having a one-on-one with her in Dallas, and Allison invited me into that one-on-one. I was so blown away that she did that. It was so flipping amazing. So I sat with her for like an hour and got to listen to her and Allison talk, and she talked to me, and we were just talking about our journeys and everything I've gone through. And it was so crazy to me because everything she said was everything I've ever dealt with in my journey. So it was so bizarre. It was such a God thing that it's like she knew me. It's like she knew my story and like my fears and my disappointments and my struggles and the heart that I have for my team. It's like she felt that from me, and that was really awesome. So we bonded really good on Friday night, and then I got to sit with her all day on Saturday. So it's super, super amazing. She's the type of person that is gonna pinpoint things that are going on with you. You know, she's a super bold, and so she's going to tell you like it is in a loving way, if that makes sense. She's no bull crap. She's not about excuses. She has overcome a lot of things in her personal life. Just a little recap of her story. She was super young in the like 70s and 80s. She got into it in the beginning of a huge network marketing company. She got in on the ground floor back in the 80s. Her mom signed her. But how she got into network marketing is because she was in real estate, and her husband was a huge tycoon builder, like in California. So they were bankrolling. They made tons of money when they were super young. She was in real estate, and all this money her and her husband made. And they moved to this little town in California. And back then, they had something called a water moratorium or something like that, where you can't build because the drought was so bad. There had been no rain for months. So basically, everything they had going on just completely stopped. So like all the money stopped coming in. Long story short, they became completely bankrupt. They lost everything, every cent they ever had. But she was working. She was still going to open houses, even though no one was buying. She was still 100% dedicated to her work and her business. And then at the lowest point financially and the lowest point in their marriage, their house burnt to the ground. Everything they owned, everything. Their pets were the only thing that survived. They had a dog and a cat, and the only thing that they salvaged from that house was her animals. So they not only were broke, bankrupt pretty much, they lost their entire house and all their worldly possessions. They were living in like a Motel 6. It was that bad. And her mom had gotten in with this ground floor network marketing company, and that's why she joined, because she was desperate for money. It was like her only chance. And she took that business and ranked all the way to the top of her company, her and her mom side by side. So it's a powerful story. She's an amazing leader. She's been through a lot of trials and things in her life, so she can really relate to a lot of people's fears. And she ended up losing that marriage because it was so bad, and they struggled so much. It was so difficult. They just couldn't survive the marriage. They did remain friends, but she's been through it all. I mean, bankruptcy, loss of loved ones, divorce, everything you can think of. She had every excuse in the world to not be successful, and people wouldn't have blamed her. They would have been like, okay, poor Leslie, blah, blah, blah. But she rose above it. And that's what I love so much about her, is that even though everything was stacked against her and everything that should have went wrong, she kept fighting and she kept pushing, and she had the self-belief and the belief in herself that she wanted something more, and she went and did it, And that was back in the 80s. I mean, it was when people had to go like door to door. It wasn't like there was no internet, no cell phones, nothing like we have today. So she talks about, if I can do it back then, you guys can do it now. And she talked about some things that she did through those hard times. Not even really business related, just some practices that she started to do for herself, but that really, really advanced her business. And a few of those things is what I want to talk to you tonight, because I've been doing them for the last 2 weeks, and they are major powerful, like crazy. At first, when she started talking about it, I was like, that's kind of, quirky. I don't know what's going to happen with that, or maybe that worked for her, but that's not me. But I've been doing it and I've been practicing in it, and I'm telling you, it's amazing. I've had just a really awesome success, peace. My mindset is just totally different. So I want to share some of the things that we talked about. I know a lot of people journal. or blog. Some people are bloggers. They like to, computer type, or they share things with stories with their friends or family. Some people write in a diary or a journal. I've never done that. I've never been a blogger. I don't write. I've never had a diary. Even as a little girl or anything, I just have never really written anything. I am here. Like I daydream all the time. I think and dream constantly. I think about things. I talk to myself. I know it sounds crazy, but like at night, my head never quiets. I never stop thinking. It takes forever to fall asleep because I'm just thinking about so many different things over and over in my head. So that's my personality. So I just am a thinker. But she really talked about how she started journaling her life. First, she started writing just like everything that was going on and just complaining and just, crying and just like all the bad things that were happening. It just helped her get those things out in writing. And so it really helped her. Then she started to sound funny, but she started to write as things had already happened. So she was writing in the future tense. So she would write about things that she wanted to happen, and she would write like they had already happened, if that makes sense. So she would write about getting to her next rank. She would say, she didn't have emerald and diamond, but let's just say that's what she did. They had director and all these other things, but she would write about, I'm so happy that I've turned emerald at Thanksgiving. It was so awesome to be with my friends and family when it happened. My friends threw me this huge party, and she went into detail about her future. And she was writing it like it had already happened in hopes that it would happen. And she started writing that way constantly about everything in her life, about her personal life, about her health, about her finances, about her business. And it started to come to fruition. The things that she wrote down that weren't real, that she was writing them as they were to happen and they had already happened in the future, started happening in real life. And I know that sounds totally crazy and totally hokey, but I'm telling you right now, as bizarre as it sounds, I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks, and I'll be damned if some of the things that I have wrote about have not come full circle. Call me crazy, call her crazy. I'm begging you to try it, because we had to do it Saturday in class. She set a 15-minute time frame, and she gave us all journals, and we were specific little paragraphs. We had to write about our health, our wealth, our family, and religion, what we wanted in those areas, and we had to write about them like they had already happened. So, for example, she talked about like what we physically want to be. What are our personal like physical goals? Like I want to lose weight, or I want to, grow my hair, or I want to, get off my medication, whatever it was, fitness goals, eating goals, whatever. She wanted us to write a paragraph like it had already happened. So all of us in the room were kind of like, what? Like, really? This is so weird. But she's like, trust me, just do it. I'll tell you what, there was a room of 400 people, and we were writing like it was no tomorrow. We were all, it was just so freeing. You started writing, and it was like, you almost like got excited about it. It was like you couldn't help but like be happy and like, oh my gosh, this feels so good, because you were like, all the things that you had thought about that you wanted to happen, you were writing like it had already happened, and you could feel that vibe in the room. Some people were literally brought to tears in the room. It was very powerful, and it was a very emotional 15 minutes. So like for me, I was writing, I said about my personal, my body, and my physical goals. I was like, I'm so happy that I met my weight goal before I was 40. I'm so happy that I'm in my size 6s again. I'm so happy that I'm in the best shape of my life before I turned 40 in January. It made my birthday so much better to have met those goals specifically. So I was writing about, I'd already met those goals, because my goal is I'm almost 40. I'll be 40 in January, and I really have some big goals that I want as far as health and fitness. So I wrote then the story like they had already happened, and it was really cool. It was like fun. It felt like it was freeing for me to say those things and to be excited like they may happen. Even she talked about doing it for your family and your relationships, and talking about, even if you're not, some people are religious, some people aren't. She's saying if you're looking for a church and you haven't found a church that fits your family, write about it. Talk about, say in the paragraph, talk about how you found this awesome church and you have so many great friends and your kids are all settling into the youth program, and write it out, like write what you want to happen, you know? And so people started writing it, and everybody in the room was blown away how they felt. It was encouraging. It was eye-opening. It was kind of like she was drawing things out of us and making us think of things that maybe we suppressed down because of our doubts and saying, oh, that'll never happen. I can never do that. It's too far-fetched. I'm so far away from my goal. I know I'll never get there. Because if you think about it, we condition ourselves to be negative. Usually it's a negative inward. So it's, I'll never do that. I can never fit in those jeans. Oh, I'll never look like that again. I can't eat like that. I just don't have the willpower. Or, oh, this, oh, that. It's always a negative, and especially self. It's always like, you know, she can get to emeralds, but I can't. That's way too far off for me. I don't know enough people. I'm too busy. I'm this, I'm that. We do that. We negative self-talk a lot, and it becomes not even a habit. It's a condition that we live our lives through. We are conditioned to be negative, and we're negative inwardly, and we don't even realize that we are. And if you think about it, how many times in a day or a week are you self-reflecting negative? Saying, I can't, I'll never, that's not going to happen. Even if you don't say it out loud, you think it in your head. I know I do it, even little things. I mean, even like my schedule. Oh, I'm never going to, I can't, I don't have time for that. I'm too busy for this. I can't make this. I have no time for that. And then I think, wait a minute. I'm in charge of my schedule. Like, you know, I'm the boss, you know, like this is my life. Like I'm dictating my schedule. So wait a minute, I can do that. I will do that. So writing about in the present tense or in the future tense is something that has become super powerful for me. I wrote about my specific, in that meeting, in that room in Dallas, I sat and I said on paper, I said, I'm so excited. I didn't name them by name, and I won't name them by name, but I'm so excited that my level ones, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, are so excited about their business. I'm so happy that they're finally silver. I'm so glad that they finally caught the vision and have the belief, and they're rolling in their business. And I'm telling you right now, 3 out of 4 of those people have 2 or more ambassadors under their belt in 2 weeks. They're all working their business. They've gotten into 3-ways with me. I mean, I literally have goosebumps. Like, it's crazy that the things that I wrote that I was so passionate about and wanted so much and wrote down on paper has come into fruition because I've really just absorbed everything she said, and I believed what she said, and I took it in, and I've been doing the things that she's asked us, you know, us that were there to do, and it's coming out. It's starting to happen. She plays videos in this her event, and she talks about her examples of how she's journaled and what has happened, and it will blow your mind. It's crazy. All the things that she journals about in the future tense have come around in some form or the other. Little things, silly things that you would never think of. And she jokes because she's single now, and she's been so focused on her business that she hasn't met someone. And she said her mom is always like, you need to start journaling about a man, because if you do, he'll come around, you know, because she's had so much success with her journaling and just being powerful and speaking power into your life and speaking positive and thinking positive and changing your mindset to yes, I can, and yes, I will, and it's already happened. It will. So journaling, I super challenge you. I want you to start doing it. Do it tonight. Do it tomorrow. Family, friends, business, religion, whatever your top 5 or 4 or 5 life issues, life events, write in a journal about the future like it's already happened. Write it down, claim it to happen, do it in as much detail as you possibly can, down to the little details, how you felt, what happened, how you felt afterwards, how that person felt or how the situation came about. Do it in a way that pulls that out of you, that maybe you haven't thought about some things, and maybe you didn't even know you desired those things, but as you write in the future tense, you will see those passions and those thoughts and those feelings come out of you. And it's exciting. It's super fun. You'll laugh probably when you first started writing, because we all did too. We were sitting in the room like, this is so weird. Like, why are we writing all this stuff? And it was kind of like almost embarrassing. Like, that's what some of us said, like, we can't write that stuff. And she's like, why? Why can't you write that stuff? That's the stuff that you want. That's the stuff that's inside you that you want to bring out, because it's positive. That's things that you desire, that you have a heart's desire for. So why not put it on paper? Why not claim it as the future like it's already happened? So that was super amazing and powerful. And I'm telling you, it's worked for me. It's been so super freeing for me also. Another thing she really talks about is core values. And I mean, we all have core values. We all have things that it's who we are. It makes up our, standard of living. It makes up our character. And everybody has different core values. And sometimes, the core values that you have, or maybe some of the core values that you're lacking, that you don't put as a priority, do affect your business. And you don't even realize they affect your business. So another thing she taught us to do was, and she gave us a list, and I can, I'll try to get copy that list. I can probably scan it from the workbook that we got during the conference. She lists a ton of them, because sometimes it's hard to think of core values. Well, what is a core value? But she lists tons of them. And she asked us to go down that list and circle our top 5 core values, what the 5 top core values that we felt we had. And it was hard because there's a lot of core values. I'm like, oh, well, trustworthy, dependable, hardworking, loving, there's a lot, but she's like to pick 5 of those that are your personal solid core values. So we did. We circled the top 5 core values. A lot of, even my front row, we all had different core values that were important to us. And then she asked us to name them, number them from the most important to you to the last important to you. And it was interesting, because then she said, okay, look at your business specifically. Look at how you run your business. Look at yourself as a leader and see if those core values line up with the way you run your business. So let's say, your work ethic, having, if your responsibility wasn't one of your top 5, or organization wasn't one of your top 5 core values. Doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing, but when you're talking about your business, sometimes you have to adapt different core values to run your business. If you don't, sometimes that's why you're lacking in leadership, and sometimes you're lacking in momentum in your team, because your core values are a little bit different in your personal life, or how you think of your character, and in turn to your business. So that was really kind of eye-opening, because I never really thought, core values is just who you are. It's just kind of what makes you the person you are and how you feel. But everybody's core values are different, because she asked a bunch of us to call them out. And it was surprising how many of us had totally different core values. All wonderful, all great, all, great things to have and great qualities to have. But each of us as leaders categorize them very differently. So one, I might love, and family might be 1 or 2 of my core values that may be not in the top 5 of someone else. So it just really depends on who you are. So discovering your core values is really eye-opening, and it's really interesting, and it's interesting to see how that plays out in your business specifically, and how you respond as a leader, and how you lead your team. So that's another thing I would really have you do. Think about, and I'll give the list to you so you don't have to try to think of them, but think about those core values. Look at them and see what your top 5 are, and see where they line up in a category of 1 to 5, and maybe look at some of those other core values on the piece of paper and say, okay, well, those are important to me too, but those aren't my top 5, and so maybe that's why I'm lacking a little bit here or there. So maybe if you adapt some different core values as far as your business, you may see some changes in your momentum, you may see some changes in your leadership, and even your personal growth and development. So I thought that was really awesome. I never really thought of it that way. I mean, I just, you think everybody has the same core values, or we're all kind of the same. We all think it's a priority, but it's not true. Not everybody has the same priority as you do. And some people don't. And if your team, or if you have a level one that, one of their core values is not, work ethic, or not accountability, or not dependability, there may be issues there. So bringing up someone's core values, or talking about core values with your team, I think is really crucial. Talking about how important it is to adapt to maybe some new core values as far as your business can really change the momentum and the pace of your team. So I thought that was really good. Another thing we talked about is excuses. And we touched on this. A lot of you were on my Zoom meeting a couple weeks ago when I talked about stop chasing your team, stop begging and pleading your team to work when they're not working, stop beating a dead horse. If someone does not want this business, you cannot will it to happen for them. She nailed that on the head. She is a non-tolerant to people that don't want to work in this business. There are so many people, she said, out there that do want this business that she does not think that you should wait. Y'all are still not muted, a couple of you.
They all count. We'll take it.
There's a male voice on there. Can you all mute yourself, please? Sorry, guys. She talked about she does not think that you should waste a minute on someone who is not willing to work the business. Doesn't mean you don't love them. Doesn't mean you don't have to be friends with them. Doesn't mean you think any differently of them. But she is hardcore when it comes to this. She says you give them one opportunity and one opportunity only. You put it in front of them and you say, look, you joined my team. You were excited at one point. You said you wanted to work this business. I'm 100% on board with you. I will hold your hand. I will link arms with you. I will give you all the tools needed to be successful. And I will help you every step of the way if you match my efforts. And if you don't, I love you. Have a wonderful life and good luck. She is a period, full stop, end of story, no more conversation after that. She said, you do not revisit that. If they want to revisit it, they will revisit you. You put yourself out there once, you tell them, I'm here, I'm your upline, I will help you, and then you let it go. She said, she told us what we do is, she said, you go home and you give your levels 1 through 4. She really focuses on 1 through 4 because she read her comp plan. She's very familiar with her comp plan. She loves her comp plan. She has a lot of respect for it. She's educated herself on our specific comp plan, so she knows it. So in her opinion, our top level 4s is who we should be focusing our attention on. Of course, we don't ignore the other ones, but our main focus is our top level 1 through 4. And she said to go home, she said to send them a voice text, send them a message, call them on the phone and say, look, you have not sponsored anyone in the last 60 days or 30 days or 90 days or whatever it is. Do you want this opportunity? Is this something that you want for your family? And if the answer is yes, she said, actually, she posed 2 questions. Are you satisfied with the pace of your business? Are you satisfied with your Plexus paycheck? And if the answer is yes, then pat them on the back and say, good job. If they're happy with a $100 paycheck, if they're happy with having 0 ambassadors, if they are happy with that, then we have to be happy for them. Because not everyone wants this business like we do. Not everybody wants to be a jewel. So if they say, yes, they are happy with the pace of their business, and yes, they are happy with their paycheck, then you give them a great big hug and a kudos, and you leave it at that. If you ask your team, are you happy with the pace of your business, and are you happy with your paycheck, and their answer is no, then you give them 72 hours. You say, all right, why aren't you happy with it? What's going on? What's your struggle? What are you dealing with? Why are you not happy with the pace of your business? Why are you not happy with your paycheck, and what can we do about it? If they say, I don't know, I just don't feel like I have time, I don't know anybody, I don't do this, excuse after excuse, she said, you say, okay, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you 72 hours of one-on-one attention. I'm going to give you everything you need. I'm going to be there for you for the next 72 hours straight, and we're going to get you on task. We're going to get you sponsoring. We're going to get you working, and then it's your choice. And she says, you refer them to whatever training you have, because we all have a training set up. You get them, in a video chat with you. You talk to them on the phone about the pay plan. You talk to them about the products, whatever they need, whatever they feel they're lacking in. And you give them a chance. You give them one 72-hour chance, and you give them direction. You say, okay, I want you to get your list. Do you have your list of people? Do you have your list of potentials, that 100 list? That's their first and foremost. If they don't, you sit down and you write it right there with them. You get them on the phone, you get them on a FaceTime, you do whatever. Let's start writing your list. Get them down. Get your Facebook out. Get your planner back. Get your list out. Then you say, okay, here's your list. Get your top 5 from your list, and let's get them on the phone right now. Let's get them on the phone. Call them up and say you want to talk to them about your business, and let's get them on the phone. She is a no text, no Facebook kind of gal. She is, I want to get them on the phone, or I want to sit down and have coffee. She says she knows that we in our business specifically rely on Facebook a lot. And she said that's okay if that's what people are comfortable with. But if you can get them on the phone, actually on the phone, it's way better because they can feel the excitement. You can debunk things. You can talk more freely. And sometimes text or messaging back and forth, emails get, maybe they don't understand what you're trying to say, or they don't feel your tone, and they're not really sure what you're trying to say. So she said, you get their top 5 people, and they get into 3-way chats, period. You get them on the phone. If they are serious about this business and they're serious about getting some sponsoring going, then they will get on the 3-way. And then in that 72 hours, if they have not done the training you've asked them to do, if they've not watched the YouTubes or whatever your training is, if they've not read the compensation plan, if they haven't gone on the phone with you, if they haven't started their list and they haven't gotten to 3-ways, you tell them, all right, when you're ready, I'm here, but I'm not gonna come after you anymore. When you're ready for this, you know where I am, and I will be here for you. But that's it. If they don't respond, as hard as it is, they don't get them in the chat, then you just move on to the next person. She said, we waste time and we will miss out on the next rock star of our business chasing around people that don't want to work this business, that don't get it, that don't have the passion for this business, and we will miss out, and someone else will sign our rock star because we're waiting on talking to somebody who hasn't worked their business in the last 6 months. I'm not doing that. I don't know about y'all. I'm not missing out on my next rock star. So that's exactly, I was in Dallas on the phone, and some of y'all know because I voice messaged you about your team, and I literally voice text. If you have the Facebook app, you can push a little microphone, you can talk, and it comes as a message, and you can listen to it. Some people didn't even know that at the event, but it's a beautiful thing. I do it all the time. You can record a message on Facebook, and someone can listen to it on the message. So I messaged every single one of my level 1, every single one, and I said, I'm excited. I'm at Leslie's Inn. I'm still in Dallas. I'm literally in my hotel room, and I want you to get on board. I want to know if you're happy with your business, the pace of your business, your paycheck. If you're not, let's do this. Let's do a 72-hour action plan, and let's get you sponsoring and get you building so you can earn more money. And I had an amazing response. I had numerous people say, gosh, I've been wanting to get with you. I've really been thinking about it. I've been watching all your stuff on Facebook, and you're so this and you're so that. And it's like, I'm like, really? Because I've been talking to you for months and you haven't said a word, So I was like, but it's great. I said, awesome. Let's do this. Let's put the 72-hour plan of action in, get your list, get on the phone with me. And they did. Some of them got their list out. They sent me the list, the picture of their list. They got me in 3-way chats. They screenshotted me some messages that they sent out. And it just started building their momentum. It got them excited. It got me excited. And it got me focused. And I thought, this is what we need to do with our teams. We have to give them some kind of plan of action so they know what we want them to do. And she talked about that. If we set our ambassadors up to fail, they will, period. If we set them up to succeed, they will succeed. So we have to give them specific direction, and it has to be a time frame. Just like she said, it's not that you are the boss, but you are. You are their upline. You are the one giving them direction. They're looking to you to find out what their next step is. Once we get them to a certain level, let's say gold, senior gold, then we don't have to give them so much direction because we've taught them how to get direction, and we taught them how to give direction. So once they get to that gold or senior gold, guess what? They're doing to their team what you did to them, and they're getting them excited, and they're setting their plan of action out, and they're getting them on momentum. He talks about you cannot be successful in this business if you are not sponsoring every single month. If you go 30 days without adding a new ambassador, you're not doing something right. It pierced a lot of hearts in that room, I can tell you that. There was a lot of people, and there were tons of jewels in that room. And don't think for a minute that jewels don't have to work their business and don't have to keep sponsoring. Because let me tell you, they do. because there's a lot of jewels in this company that aren't making rank. They're not going to Leaders Retreat. They're not going to Maui. I can't tell you, ladies, how many people that I went to Maui with last year that are not going to Maui this year. They're not. And that's because they missed out, they lost momentum, they lost their way, and they couldn't find it back. And it's because when you stop sponsoring, you lose momentum. When you stop sponsoring, you fall behind. It's just how this business works. There are leaders, there are great people in this company, great jewels that will not be at Leaders Retreat. Jewels, they did not make Leaders Retreat. You are no different than the jewels. We are no different than y'all. We have to plug in and we have to continue to sponsor and we have to continue to work our business. And if we don't, we will fall behind and you guys will surpass us. And that has been happening. So in this business, if you are not actively sponsoring, if you are not bringing people into your organization every single month, you will not be successful. You will get into a lull. You will get into no momentum. You will get frustrated. Your team will see no momentum. They will be frustrated and they will quit. So the key to this business, the key to momentum and the key to promotion is sponsoring. We have to get people sponsoring. Our goal, we need to, okay, another thing she talked about is we need to set the bar high. So if you have a new ambassador, and I have been so guilty of this, and I didn't even realize that I was doing it. So hear me here. I'll sign someone, and maybe I know them. So I know their lifestyle. I know their kids, or I know their spouse. So I'll say, well, they're really busy, so she probably won't make silver for a couple of months, but that's fine. I mean, she'll be using the products, and I'm already making excuses for them. I'm not even giving them a choice to say, I'm going to get to silver in my first week or my first month. I've already said, no, she has a busy life. I know she probably won't be able to work it full time. So I'm not going to push her too much because I know she's got soccer and ballet and her husband works. No, we cannot do that. Our goal when we sign a new ambassador is that our goal for them is we should sit down and say, let's fast start you to gold. I want you fast started to gold. I know you can do it. I know you're busy, but guess what? 20 people under your belt, 20 people running out of the gate, and you will be fast started to gold and you will earn $700 bonus. That is what we should be telling every single one of our ambassadors. Not giving them excuses, not setting them up to have some eeny-weeny goal of maybe making silver their first month. No, we should set them up to say, let's fast start you to gold. Let's get you to gold in your first 30 days. That's only 20 people. You can do it, and tell them why they can do it. You are so bold. You're so charismatic. You have such a great personality. You know so many people. You have a great network. You can do this. Don't do what I've done and make excuses for them and not even give them a chance to think they can be senior or to gold, to fast start to gold. I didn't even realize I was doing it. But it's easy to do because we're like, oh, I don't want to push her. I don't want to push too much on her right away. Oh, if she doesn't make it, No. Set the bar high for every single one of your new ambassadors. Don't give them any excuses and don't help them make any excuses, especially if you know them. If they're a family member or if they're a friend, don't assume, don't prejudge them because maybe in the back of their mind, they're like raring to go and they want to do it. They don't even know what fast start to gold is, but they might want to do it. So don't prejudge what they want. Sit down with them and say, my goal for you is to fast start to gold in 30 days. Girlfriend, all you need is 20 people on your levels 1 through 3. You can totally do this. Push them, sit with them, get into three-ways, get on the phone with them, be encouraging to them, push them for their first 30 days. And guess what? Even if they don't fast start to gold, you have pushed them to momentum. You have pushed them to have a celebration early on in their business, and they want it. That's exciting for them. Set the bar high. And don't prejudge someone because you might think that they're not ready because you never know. They might be totally ready. She talked about when you're setting goals with your team, and she talked about huge, which we all know, we've been talking about this for a year. Goal setting, got to happen. Every week we should be setting goals with our ambassadors. If you are a gold or above, shame on you if you're not getting with your team because you have to get with your team, guys. You should be sitting down with every single one of your ambassadors on your first 4 levels and setting goals. You should know right now if I said, Stephanie, what is one of your level one's goals for the month? She should be like, her goal for the month is to go silver and to help her downline go silver. Or she wants to she wants to get her PV and earn those last convention credits. She should know what her level one goals are, because she sat with them at the beginning or the end of the week and said, hey, what are your goals? I am your leader. I want to help you reach your goals, so you have to tell me what those goals are. I want to help you get to that goal, so I need to know what those goals are. Set goals with your team. It helps you stay on task as a leader. If you know, let's say you have 5 level ones that maybe they only need 1 more to go silver. So you know this month we need to get 5 new level ones on my team. I'm going to help those 5 people get their last level 1 so they can get to silver. That's 5 new silvers if you just get 1 person each. Guys, that could bring huge momentum to your team. Know your people's goals. Sit down with them. Get on a Zoom meeting. Get on a phone call, free conference call, whatever you guys need to do with your teams. I don't care if you have 2 ambassadors or 20 or 200. Get with your level ones. Get with your people that are working the business and sit down and say, what are your goals? Let's nail them this month. You have to know their goals, and you have to be able to know their goals to help them. So you want to set their goals and set the bar high. Don't set tiny little goals. It's okay not to reach that big goal, but the quicker you can get someone to a win in their business, the faster they're going to feel and the faster they're going to go in the business. Leslie Zann pushes that speed is the #1 success in this business. If you start slow and you don't push them and you coddle them and you're not pushing them to exceed, it's not good. If you're full force, push, speed is everything. You want them to get to silver. You want them to get their 100 PV. Let every little thing be a win, especially for your new ambassadors. If your new ambassador gets qualified their first month in, when they don't above their welcome pack, when they don't have to, make that a huge win. Make that a big deal. Tell them, oh my gosh, you got qualified and you don't even have to be qualified. That's huge. Yay, that's awesome. That's your first win in this company. That makes them feel good. That gives them a win. They get excited. They're like, okay, I can totally do it. If they get their first customer, make that a huge deal. Say, oh my gosh, that's your second win. You just got your first customer. Make it a big deal. Make it a rush. Make it a speed thing. Get them to silver as fast as you possibly can, because that is the first monumental win for them, and they will feel that excitement. They will feel that rush, and they'll want to hurry up and go silver again. And they're going to want to help those 3 that they just got go to silver. So speed in this business is crucial. We want to push, and even if those people fall short, you tell them, hey, that's okay. You didn't get your fast start bonus, but you did get to silver. You know, you did get to silver plus. Now we're going to work on getting those silvers to silver. You know, then you will be gold. So it's okay not to reach a goal, but set the bar high and push for them to reach that goal. Don't prejudge them to not set a big goal. When she talks about speed, when she talks about sponsoring, when she talks about momentum, she's a no excuse. So she likes to have a rebuttal before she goes and asks. So if you have an ambassador that you know is just kind of sitting on the fence, she's not really working the business, you think she could be a total rock star, she has a huge network, whatever it is, go to them and say, hey, what's the deal? Why are you not sponsoring? Why have you not sponsored? And she said you need to go through your reports and pull all your level 1s through 4s. Maybe if you have a huge team, you can't do that. So you go through your level 1s and 2s, whatever. Your first few levels and say, okay, who has not sponsored in the last 30 to 60 days? Who has not had a new ambassador? Get those people and ask them why. Specifically, say directly, hey, Kelly, what are you doing? How's things going? How's your business? How's your plexus? Blah, blah, how you feeling? I've noticed that you haven't sponsored anybody in the last 30 to 60 days. Why not? I don't really know. I'm not really sure. I guess I haven't really talked to that many people, or I'm just really busy, blah, blah. Say, okay, great, let's fix that. You need to talk to more people. Well, I talk to a lot of people, but I work, or, my kids are so busy. Well, have you spent like an hour on Facebook or like 10 minutes on Facebook? Have you talked to anybody on Facebook? Have you posted about Plexus? Ask them specific things. If they say no, say, why not? Do you want a bigger paycheck? Do you want to promote? Then you need to do these things. She said it's okay to be bold. It's okay to ask questions. When we ask questions, they have to answer, right? If we're not asking them a question, if we're just saying, oh, what are you doing? How's things going? It's not specific. If we say, why haven't you sponsored anybody in the last 30 to 60 days? They have to give you an answer, right? So it's something that you can kind of pull out and figure out what's going on with your ambassadors. If you're not sponsoring every single month, you're not going to have to create the momentum. That's just the bottom line. We have to get our team sponsoring. I just started this today. 2 things I want to share, and then I'll let you guys go. 7-day trials. This is for everybody. So I'm going to make this quick interjection. If you are in my outside, if you're in my primary leg, if you are in Aaron Rosario or Tanya Stewart's downline, I have made it very clear in my Facebook team page that I absolutely love and adore all of you, and you are totally welcome on my team. Everything that I do, you are always welcome to be involved in. And if you're on my team page, I'm happy about it. I love when I see you guys on my Zooms and everything I'm involved in. However, I understand that some people do directly certain things on their team and then their downlines, and they only want you to do those certain things. So I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I'm telling you that you're more than welcome to be involved in these things if you so choose. With that being said, I'm doing a group, calling it a discussion group. And what I'm doing is I'm posting on Facebook. I'm saying, I put personally 5. You guys can put whatever number you want to. You can put 100 or 10 or whatever you want. I'm looking for 5 people to purchase a 7-day trial from me and be willing to be in a discussion group to give me honest feedback from the 7-day trial. And I said that I would give them a free gift to all who bought. It's $30 to buy a 7 or $29.95, whatever, to buy a 7-day trial. What I want from that is I want them to buy a trial pack, number 1, and I want them to get in that discussion group. It's going to be with obviously all of us ambassadors, and we're going to add the people that bought the trials from us. We're going to add them into a closed private secret group, okay? And we're going to talk about the other products. We're going to feed them Plexus and feed them what they need to hear and all the awesome benefits while they're in that discussion group for the 7 days that they're on their trial. You're going to add people so they're not all going to be on this regimented 7 days, but they can get in there and start whenever they start their 7-day trial. And that way we can get them talking about how they feel. We can troubleshoot them. We can encourage them, and it's a way for them to buy a 30-day. It's a way for you to get a new preferred customer. It's a great way to increase your sales, and it's something that brings a little buzz, brings a little momentum. And even if, and I've talked to some Jules who have done this, even if you have a sour apple in that group, if they say, oh, I don't feel anything, I feel no different in 7 days, they're gonna get sunshine and roses. They're gonna get so much Plexus love, and they're gonna get so much Plexus encouragement, and they're gonna get health and tips and water and food and everything else. So even if they don't find success with a product, they're gonna get a free gift from me if they're my people. Maybe you give them a free gift, or maybe you don't. But they're going to get everything they need, and if they're not happy, we say thank you for trying the product. We really appreciate it. If you have anybody else that you think may be interested, to give it a try, because maybe it will help them because it's helped 50 other people in this group. I'm sorry it didn't help you. Let us know. That's it. It's not going to be a negative. We're going to say thank you for doing it. I'm sorry you didn't feel anything from it, and bless and release. The majority of people are going to obviously love the product. The majority of people are going to be blessed. They're going to talk about the ProBio that they're not on. We're going to talk about the BioCleanse that they should be on. We're going to talk about how many benefits the X Factor has. So in their 7-day trial, be like, oh, that's cool. I never heard of that. I am feeling energy, but I could sleep better. Wonder if I tried the Mega X or the ProBio if I slept better. Great ways to get you guys customers going in a small setting where it's private. So if you're more than welcome to do it. I haven't created the group. I'm going to create it tomorrow, but I did make my post today trying to get my 7-dayers. So I would encourage you guys, if you want to be involved in that, start posting and asking people. They do have to purchase. Don't buy it for them. This is something that is going to create sales for you, and it's going to create a momentum and a buzz on your Facebook. I already had 2 people. I already had 2 people comment on mine. I had like 3 or 4 message me that were too embarrassed to post on the post, which I think is so silly. But some people are like that. So one post for me today, and I have my 5. So it's a great way to just start a little sales momentum. So don't give it away. Make them buy it. What was the next thing? I forgot. My mind's going on here.
Kelly,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. I have a question about that.
Yes.
Now, if I was wondering, because I've been, giving samples away.
Yeah.
The question I have is, isn't it better to sell it to them, but actually give them like the full thing, to get 2 ProBios a night, 2 BioCleanse a night? I mean, to really set them up for 7 days if they're willing to pay for it, and at wholesale cost, and then really set them up so they have the accelerator, they have the slim, and they have the block, and just give them a feel of it. If they're willing to purchase it at wholesale for my cost, are we allowed to do that?
You can do whatever you want to do. I mean, you're totally able to do that. I can't, we're pushing, I want a triplex package so bad, trial-pack so bad, and just the triplex. That would be so awesome. We're like begging and pleading for that to happen, but it's not happened yet, but we're hopeful for it to happen. Or at least ProBio and BioCleanse, because we need trials of those things, because those are so awesome. So we're hoping that those come. But you can, I mean, if you feel comfortable with that, if you want to put them, buy it yourself, and then if they feel comfortable taking, 7 of them from you or whatever, I've done it before, so you can do that too. That's fine.
Okay, I just didn't know what you meant by, are you only giving them the slim for 7 days?
They can do slim and boost, or slim and accelerator is a 7-day.
Okay, I didn't know what you meant by the trial pack. That's why I didn't know I just want to interrupt just for that, because I know you got to finish up, but okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I really lost my train of thought. I was really excited to tell you something else, and now I forgot what it was.
I'm sorry, sweetie, but I just had to know about that.
No,
I love that. No, I love that idea, is to say get together.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I love that idea of being able to get together and have them, talk about it and what worked and what they liked. And
yeah, some people
like giving it away.
Yeah, and I've debated this before. I thought about this for the last 2 years. I thought about having a team customer page. A bunch of us have thrown it around, the ideas, but it's really hard, because you do have, people are so negative, and their negativity just breeds like fungus. And so that would be my only fear. Because some people, no matter if you handed them a crystal ball that actually works, they would still doubt you. If you handed them gold, it wouldn't be enough. So there's just some people that just, no matter what we give them, they would still complain, or they'd still be negative. So I've thought about doing a customer testimonial page, but I think there's too much risk involved. But something like this, it's a short term. It's not like they're in there forever. They do their 7-day trial. They give us their honest opinion, and then they're out. So it's just somewhere we can add them, and then once they're done with their 7-day, they get removed. So they're not in there, so it's something that's a quick 7-day, see how you're doing. We're going to feed you with all the Plexus products. We're going to enlighten you, and every leader will be able to post things in there, and whoever brings your customers, you can give content, etc. I remember what my other thing was. I really want, right now I am focusing personally on my outside, because I'm a very unbalanced jewel. I have a primary leg that took off like wildfire and has been extremely successful. And when True Vision happened to my team specifically, because my uplines were the ones that were terminated, they took 4 of my outside primaries, my entire leg. So I had to completely rebuild my outside, which I have. My outside is fantastic. I love my outside team. They're wonderful. They're newer, they're younger, they're haven't been in it with the company as long. So my highest rank in my outside, I guess, would be senior gold or ruby. Yeah. So that's my focus for me, because I need 300 points in my outside to go sapphire. I have all over points, but the beautiful thing about this business is we have to have outside points, and that's actually a positive thing. It's actually a good thing for everyone involved. So my focus, my goals is for my outside to grow and rank up, because if my outside's growing and ranking up, my primary is still ranking up and still growing, and that's wonderful. So then I'll be more balanced, where I won't have such an imbalanced points. So for me, I know a lot of my primary there's a lot of senior golds and rubies and senior rubies, and really they're so excited. I just had my 3rd jewel, Amanda Dickerson. So happy for her and her team. She is an amazing leader. She has a heart of gold, and she totally is deserving of that. So she is in a new a new shoe. She's got to figure her way as a leader, and I'm trying to help her do that in Jules and helping her to get to know some of the great Jules that I'm friends with and helping her on her way to be a Jewel and a Jewel leader. So she's doing a fantastic job. So my outside, I'm doing this specifically with, but that doesn't mean that my primary people are not included. So I always wanted to say that, like I said, I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, but anybody who's in my team page is open to the things that I do. So just clarifying that again. I'm doing a superstar contest. I want one of my team, Holly Cook won it I don't know if it was last month or the month before. She's from my primary leg. She had 14 silvers. She helped 14 people go silver on her team, and she won the Silver Star Award. So she got to go, or gets to go, to Arizona, have dinner with Alec and Taro. It's a really awesome achievement. So I want my team, I want more of my team to be on that Silver Star trip. So I'm doing a Silver Star contest, and I want you guys to help get your teams to silver. I want you guys to do everything you can, get your level 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, whatever, into activity, into sponsoring, into 3-ways, and get them on the phone with their potentials and get them sponsoring and get them moving in this business. So I'm going to do a Silver Star contest. What happens is it's not a specific number. So every month it's different, but every month they have 3 now, which is good. Last month, I think they had 14 people turn silver. So that's how many she had. It was like 21 the month before. It's been like 24. So it's really depending on the month. So I can't say, okay, whoever gets 20 silvers is going to win. It's whoever for the month in company-wide has the 3 highest amounts of silver. And you can't be Senior Ruby and Jules aren't allowed to win. So it has to be someone who's in lower ranks. But even if you're a Senior Ruby and one of your people wins, maybe they'll take you with them. So you'll be able to go. Momentum, sponsoring is key. I'm doing a $500 grand prize for if one of my team gets the Silver Star, they're going to win $500 for me, and they're going to win the Silver Star. $500 for you guys to get as many silvers as you can on your team. And that's going to mean you're going to have to work your butt off. You're going to have to be on the phone. You're going to have to be in action. You're going to have to be in 3-way calls. You're going to have to get with your people and make sure they're sponsoring and make sure they're training their teams. But it can be done. If you guys can get your teams moving and get them sponsoring and get them to understand the power in 3, you can do it. I have full faith that you can do it. And if you do, if we win a Silver Star, if one of my ambassadors win the Silver Star, they're getting $500 from me. So I want you guys to be in action. I want you guys to get excited. I want you to get your teams excited. I want your goal to be to get as many people to silver. And if you're thinking, oh gosh, I'm just silver, or I just turned silver, you can still do this. You can add, you can sponsor in people and get them to silver, whatever you need to do. If your goals are senior goals, this has your name all over it. If you want to rank up, this is your way to do it. And if you want to get your teams motivated, this is a huge motivator. Get your teams to silver. Help them get to silver. Let them know, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to help you with. This is the power of 3. Let's get this thing going. Ask them, are you happy with the pace of your business? Are you happy with your paycheck? And if they say no, get on them and say, okay, let's get your paycheck moving. Let's get your team moving. Let's get you 3 new ambassadors. Who can we call first? Get them on the phone, get them into action, get them on the computer, get them on the Facebook, whatever you need to do, get those messages going. Explain to them that 3-way calling and 3-way messaging is how you get new team members. It's you're using your momentum as a leader. You're using your story and your credibility to help them get their team members. And that's all the 3-way is about. So helping the credibility, and it's a teaching moment. Don't forget, you're teaching that level 1 or what your level 1, 2, or 3. how to do a three-way. You're teaching them the verbiage, you're showing them confidence, you're showing them how to talk, what to say, what maybe not to say. And when they're doing a three-way, get with your ambassador. If you're doing a three-way and they're talking and they're writing or whatever, or they're saying something on the phone, when you get done, talk about your three-way. Say, you know what, that was really good, but maybe next time you should say this or that and not say, maybe stay away from this and say more about this. Because it is a teaching. It's a learning. You have to learn how to do three-ways. It is an art. It is an art. It's a skill. It's something that we should all be working on. You have to learn the art of the invite. You have to learn the art of actually talking and communicating in a three-way, what to say, what not to say, what to focus on, and how to do it. So the more you do the three-way chat, the more you do the three-way calls, guess what? The easier it gets, the second nature. You're going to know what to say. You're going to teach your ambassador what to say. And guess what? They're going to get three, and then they're going to get on three-ways with their three. They're going to get their teams involved in the three-way, and that's how they're going to get to silver. So that's the challenge. Focus on silver, 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 silver. I want to think everything's glitter this month. Just think silver, silver, silver. And as you, I know there's a bunch of you on this Zoom right now that say, I want my next promotion. I'm right there. I've been waiting for my promotion. Guys, getting your teams to silver is going to get you that promotion. It's going to give you the momentum to push you to your next promotion, and you're not even have to focus on your next promotion. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about getting our teams promoted. It's about getting our ambassadors passionate and getting them excited and getting them a win that pushes them to silver and in turn gets you promoted. It gets you what you're ultimately wanting is to promote because you're helping someone else promote. And I'm going to leave you with this. Leslie Zan said, I used to think I talked to a lot of people until I talked to a lot of people. So if you think you're talking to a lot of people or enough people every day, I promise you you're not. So that's another thing. Set a goal to talk to more people. I don't care if you have to, go join a group or go start playing bunco or mahjong or whatever. Get into a writing group or go into a mom's group or go play tennis or do something that for you that, it will build you up and give you some free time. But guess what? Talk to people about Plexus. Don't think that you talk to enough people because you don't. We never do. So think about talking to more people about Plexus. The more you talk to people, the more, that's the art of inviting, because you simply talking about Plexus is piquing someone's interest. It's sowing a seed for them to ask more questions. And then you can invite them to learn more. You can invite them to a meeting. You can say, hey, friend me on Facebook. Then you're talking to them every day when you post. Gaining an audience. So talk to people, more people, new people every day about. All right. You guys can unmute yourself if you have anything to say or if you have questions or comments on anything. I'll give you guys that chance before we get going. Anybody?
Hey, Kelly, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Okay, this is Steph. So, though Gal had asked you before about adding the ProBio and the BioCleanse to the 7-day, the only thing I would say is I would start that person very slowly with ProBio and BioCleanse, like one each a day. Because then they don't have to pay off. Because if you're adding too many products in the beginning, that's where it gets dicey, and that might turn people off because they've got die-off and they say, no thanks, don't want Plexus.
Yeah. Die-off is huge. And the 7-day trial, I think that's why Plexus does it. The 3 ways are, the 3 days are super popular. 7 days, it's just really, the trial packs are just to see if people like the Slim, to be honest. It's just something that say, okay, can I drink this every day? Is this something that I can drink and feel comfortable doing before I throw out $120? It's a good way to get used to it. I couldn't agree more on the ProBio and the BioCleanse. I think it's crucial to use those products, but if you're going to give them the ProBio and the BioCleanse, you need to have a whole conversation about why you're giving them that. Talk to them about gut health, talk to them about die-off, and absolutely agree. It's one ProBio and BioCleanse, and then work your way up to 2. And that's a couple weeks into it. I take more now because I've been doing it for 2 years. So, but I have a lot of people that don't ever talk to their customers about gut health or die-off, and it always ends up bad. So definitely training purposes, talk to your people about why you want them to start ProBio and BioCleanse and what happens when they do. It's really important. Good point. Anybody else? All right, I'm gonna get my Leslie Zan workbook out, and I'm gonna try to scan some stuff tonight. I'm gonna go visit with my family for a little bit, and if I don't get it tonight, I'm gonna try to do it for sure tomorrow. That way you can talk about their core values. You can kind of look at the journal thing that we did, and a few other things that you guys can take a look at, so you can start seeing and doing and seeing what you think about that. All right. So have a wonderful evening. Thanks Silver. Thanks Silver Star. Thank Arizona Trip and $500 for getting your teams to silver. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.